Satnam, good morning. This is Ram Krishan Singh, and today I'd like to talk with everybody about a topic I'm calling emotional archaeology. And but first, I was meditating and reflecting on what the purpose of these videos are and like why I'm doing them. And so, for me, it's about strengthening this collective web of consciousness. You could call it light workers network or sovereign integral network or heart network, whatever you want to call it. But it's about strengthening this sense of interconnectedness. And it's such an opportune time to do that because we are physically not, we're distanced. We're physically distanced, but at the same time, we're given the opportunity to connect with one another through mediums of technology, but we're always connected in a very real sense from this dimension of the heart, from this place of the soul of where we actually are. So this is a really awesome opportunity to develop the feeling and the experience of interconnectedness, even though we're physically separated. So these videos are the intention, the purpose is to help strengthen that sense of interconnectedness between all people on this planet, all of humanity. And I'll talk a little bit more about this later, maybe not this video, maybe part 2 or whatever it looks like. I'm also doing my best to keep these videos shorter, and I might have them in different segments because there's a lot of sharing and clear content, and I just want to be able to share in a coherent way where people are able to receive and digest different themes and reflect upon and have more spaciousness and not try to pack so much in, and also have such long videos that people might not be able to watch them. I appreciate somebody commented in the last video saying that she watched the whole thing, so I appreciate that. But anyway, today, so the topic is about where the emotions come from, in essence. And so the angle that I'm going to talk about today is about essentially when we're in the mother's womb, we are connected. We are one with our mother. There's no separation. We are an extension of the mother's body, and the organism that the mother is, we are a part of that. There's a sense of wholeness. There's an experience of union. That's like this warm, cozy, connected, physical experience. When the child is born, there is a sense of disconnection, especially when the umbilical cord is cut. That's when the Vedic astrology says that the child is born, because there's a separation at that moment. And then the child becomes an individual in that moment. The child immediately, if you put the child on the chest, will go to suckle at mother's breast, and it's an instinctual action to connect in that way, to feel connected once again, and that's the way that's encoded within our DNA. It's through the mouth, and in that way, with that connection, there's a nourishment that occurs. There's a suckling that happens, and then there's a nourishing that occurs, which is a byproduct of that state of connection. Okay, so we're nourished out of connectivity. So in the child's upbringing, hopefully in the beginning of the child's life, they're able to receive all that they need and feel that their needs are taken care of, and feel that they're really a part of, still connected to a larger organism. It's a different model. We're all separate entities, but there's communication that happens. There's needs that are met when child communicates. There's still a sense of connectivity and connection going on with the universe, because it feels like authentic expression is met with authentic service to meet needs, and there's just a union, there's a oneness, one being, superorganism of humankind and all of life, really. So in the child's upbringing, if the father or the mother, because the mother is the first teacher for the child, teaches really the child about inner dimensions, about the sense of connectivity. Father is the second teacher for the child, teaches more about outward dimensions and interactivity. And if the child does not feel, if there's not a complete sense of the child being loved, accepted, connected, held by either of those figures, the feminine or the masculine. It doesn't have to be the mother or the father. It can be masculine and feminine energies, roles that people play in the child's life that are mother-like, father-like, masculine, structure-oriented, or feminine, more inclusive and connected, loving. The child can have a sense of fragmentation or limitation, because it feels to the child that parts of themselves are not completely embraced, completely loved, because if a need is not met, it can create complexes for the child. And it really depends on each child's karma. I once heard that I really like the idea that if the doorbell rings and the mother walks away from the child could have a complex, but it depends on the child's karma. It's not, and in the same theme, a mother could go away for 3 weeks and the child could be completely fine. So I need to go support my wife right now, and I look forward to talking more about this. I'll just end this little snippet right now. So if the child is not completely loved, supported, there are fragments, senses of incompletion, not completely loved, not completely held. And those parts of ourselves are sort of like disconnected little islands. Ideally, we want to feel a sense of our mother's upbringing and our father's upbringing, or masculine and feminine, give us a complete sense of wholeness. But I'll come back to this another time. So I hope that I just pick this up another time, and this is a good part one. Sana.